So, Professor Kanika, do we record the proceedings?
Yes, Dr.
Okay.
Paul, that will be really
Yeah,
helpful.
fine. Yeah. Okay.
Well, to get us started, first, it's good to see everybody. We've actually had a few new faculty join Dr. Pandey. So I know we've had some digital interaction, but it's nice to see everybody's face. So we greatly appreciate you taking the time and spending a little bit of your morning with us today. So with that said, I'll turn it over to Professor Kanika, and she'll introduce our speaker today.
Thank you, Professor Derek. So I think this is a great opportunity that we are getting to speak to Dr. Pandey, and I would like to do a brief introduction to Dr. Pandey. Dr. Pandey, at this outset, I will say, you can pitch in wherever you want to add, because I know you have done great work in last 3 decades. So I am not sure how much justification I can do in introducing you. So here I'm introducing Dr. Ashok Pandey. He's currently serving as director at Ahlcon Group of Schools in Delhi. His career has spanned over 3 decades, and he has taken on multiple roles in these 3 decades. He has been a principal, a great principal, I think so, an author, a speaker, a researcher, and facilitator. Throughout his career in education sector, he has been very focused on finding innovative ways to impart knowledge, values, and joys of learning. His book, Inspiring Principal Leadership, has been loved by educators and have been used by many in the field to improve the quality of leadership in education. He has been bestowed upon by many honors, fellowships, and awards, including the National Teacher Award 2012 by President of India, the Rice Fellowship from the UK and OP Jindal University, and the recent Extraordinary Leadership Award 2021 by the Education World. So Dr. Pandey, it was great to see you already have an association with OP Jindal University starting somewhere in 2012. And it was good to know more about your experience in Rice Fellowship also. We are very excited to have you as a speaker, and you look forward to this workshop on alternate pedagogy. We really hope as young faculty, I'm including everyone in young faculty, Derek, including you, that we learn new and innovative ways to engage students in process of learning inside as well as outside the classroom. So with this, I hand over the mic to Dr. Pandey to take us through the workshop and begin this process of learning.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Kanika. I think you have said more than what I would have liked or I would deserve. So you don't worry about that. But the good thing that you mentioned, my association with OP Jindal University for a very, very long time, right since its inception. And many of our students have graduated from there, doing exceedingly well in life. So that is something which I'm more fascinated about. So thanks also to Dr. Suresh for introducing me to all of you. Thank you, Professor Derek, for agreeing to take me in this group. And of course, Professor Kanika, who has been working with me for the past 1 week. Frantic mails here and there, WhatsApp messages, putting everything together, and finally seeing that all of us are here in this room. So thank you very much. That formality and ceremony is over now. And now you have to see me only as a facilitator for the day. We are going to interact for about an hour and a half. And it is basically, let me tell you or warn you, that it is going to be something where you are going to work and I'm going to watch. Okay. So your participation, your, collaboration with each other, I mean, that is going to have the fun for all of us. And at any stage, if you think that you are getting disengaged or getting bored, just let me know. I will request some of you to sing a song to bring us all back in the room. So let's have fun. So if you want me to describe our whole experience for the 90 minutes, fun, fun, fun. That's it. Is it okay? So everybody's ready? Oh, everybody's ready? Thumbs up?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, and I want, when I take a class, I smile a lot and I jump a lot in the classroom. I can't see if I can jump here in the Zoom room, but at least we can all smile. Okay. So that is my one requirement. So now that we are meeting for the first time, I think we should do something which connects us all together, right? I mean, one way is that I take some time and ask all of you to introduce yourself. A little bit of introduction is already there, but I'm saving that time, and I'm assuming that I'm your old facilitator, and I have facilitated your class for several times in the past. All of you know me well, I know you well. So with this little bit of assumption, let us check how we are doing emotionally today. And Professor Kanika said that this is a very young group, and therefore I'm sure you will connect with this emotional barometer that we are going to put before you. So what we are going to do is that my colleague Monica is here. Monica, thank you also for joining us. And she's going to share a screen where you will have to respond. Okay. So let me see how it goes. Over to Monica. I will keep prompting you. So you see a very exotic word here. I'm not asking you to figure it out or whatever, but you just make a meaning out of it and just respond with emoji only. What kind of emoji comes to your mind when you see this word? I don't know which language this word is, but I'm sure it will arouse some emotion. So can you express some emoji? Where they're going to give the... have you got a link? You will have to use your mobile phone also very frequently. So if you see the group in which all of us are there, menti.com, just click that. And then you'll be taken to a box where you have to fill in the code 690222913. And then you will get this question. Just let me know if you have any issue. Yeah. So once you have got it, probably your response should come here on the screen. I should be able to see it. Yes, yes, yes. The first response has come. Wink. All right, next. So there are 14, 15 people in the room, and I think that many responses. I'll wait. 3 people have responded already. Emojis you can give. And if you're not getting emojis, probably you can write something, or let me see. But I will prefer, oh yes, question mark. 5 responses are here. Let me see. Yeah. Somebody is very happy. The angel is also there. 6. Oh yes. Amused. Oh yes. Amused. All right. Quick, please. Yeah. So that we can move fast to the next question. 7 people have responded. Others are still figuring out either Mentimeter or probably this word is so complicated that you're not able to respond. Amazed. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Amused. Oh my God. Lovely. Confused. Oh, really? Confused. Nitya has written her name here. So Nitya is confused, or Nitya is happy, or amazed?
I got confused. Sorry.
Okay, 11. All right. So now that most of you are familiar, let me move to the next question so that we do it fast. Next question. Enter an emoji that represents your emotion now. So Nitya, you said confused. If it has improved a bit, you can put another emoji for that. What is your emotion now? Oh, okay, okay. Excited. Lovely. Happy, smiling, starry eyes. Okay. Curious, anticipation. Somebody. Okay, okay. Great. Anyone left? Anyone left? Looking forward. Yeah, I think that's amazing. Peaceful. Oh, very good. Please share that peace with the rest of us. Peace. Okay. Next question, Monica. Enter emoji your friend would like to describe you with. So you can write also if you don't find a suitable emoji. How do you think your friends would like to describe you? Witty, persistent, always laughing, introvert, respectful, optimistic. Very nice. 8, 9. Okay. God. Okay. Sincere. Of course. 12. 13. Full. Okay. Great. Next question. Enter an emoji to describe this JSPC cohort in the room now. How do you feel about this group of people in the room? Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. Next, energetic. I like it. Togetherness, committed. Oh, yes. Conducive. Powerhouse. Yes, you are. You are fueling the OP Jindal Global University. So you are a powerhouse, committed, of course, collaborative, agreed, absolutely on top of the world, luckiest ones. Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. Yeah, 2, 3 more, please. Okay, okay. Clapping for each other. 2 more. 2 more. We are stuck at 11. Joyful. Yes. Joyful. Hardworking. Yes. I'm sure. Yes. Next. Yes. I think this must be a familiar emoji for all of you. To whom would you like to send this emoji outside the cohort? Anyone outside this room? Who would you like to send it to? My nephew, spouse, friend. Okay. Mother, parents, family. Okay. 2, 3 more, please. We are at 9, 10. Okay. Great. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. 1, 2 more. Family and friends. I think friends are winning. All right. Next. Your favorite emoji that you use most often. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Oops. Laughing, happy, thumbs up. Oh, really? Good. So this particular response has come pretty fast. This one, you liked it, it appears. Great. Thank you very much. Keep laughing and smiling. Next. Yeah, here is one thing which some of you did try to answer. Please read the statement below and respond with a reaction below. 15 people in this room bring years of wisdom, experience, energy, and hope. What does it mean to all of you? So you can just respond to this. Yeah.
People in this room brings years of wisdom.
Experience, energy, and hope. How would you like to describe it or respond to this statement? Yeah. Thumbs up. Liked it. You said you all are a powerhouse and you are energetic. You are a good team. Human library, somebody is saying. Good. All right. Fine. All right. Thank you. Treasure. Oh, lovely. I liked it. Treasure. A team of learners. Excellent. Great. So now, how was this? The one word which confused you in the beginning is actually emoji. So this was a game of emojis. Emoji. How was it? Fun, creative, fantabulous. All right. Lovely. Good, good.
I'm just enjoying it.
Oh, you're enjoying it? You want to continue it?
Yeah.
Okay. We will come back to it. Don't worry. Okay. So a couple of more comments, please. Fast. 12. Gamotistic. Oh, lovely. New word somebody has coined. Very nice. Light-hearted. Yeah. Helps being in the moment. Oh, yes, absolutely. Great. Thank you very much. God bless you all. And now from us, from Monica and me, all these emojis for all of you. Thank you very much for your participation. Yeah. Can you stop? Yeah. How are you? So are you smiling more or less or same? Huh? So if it is more, do this. If you are smiling more, then do this. And if you are smiling less, then you can do this. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. God bless you all. So I think now we are in the room and let us begin the day now. So the day begins with another activity. We are sharing something in the group. Just visit it. And now what we are going to do is that you will see that crossword and you have to identify words which are of the family of climate or climate change, environment, sustainability, anything related to that. So maybe 5 or 6 words you have to make out of that. Just make a note on your notepad somewhere, and then we will give you a virtual notepad, and then you can put it in the virtual notepad, and that will be displayed on the screen very soon. But this is an individual activity. Have you got the crossword? If you have got it, just do this exercise. 5 or 6 words. Don't stress too much, but that must have to do something with the climate. Climate change, catastrophes, mitigation, the carbon footprint, net zero, neutrality. I'm just giving you hints, whatever comes to your mind, if you can pick out. You might have played it sometime back when you were in school. Monica, you let me know after 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, people are very serious.
Just to clarify, so you said crossword. We're just writing down the words right now, correct?
Yes,
We're
yes.
not actually
So whatever
generating
words
crossword.
you are able to make, Professor Derek, just write those words, 4 or 5 words. So say, for example, if you could discover CO2, CO2 would be one of the words. Yeah. So just 4 or 5 like that. Meenakshi and Mr. Roy, I hope both of you are here. Yeah, okay.
We're very seriously focusing.
You're very serious, I know, I know. Yeah.
Sir, I am unable to figure out where the crossword is.
In the WhatsApp group,
Oh, acha, okay.
Alternate Pedagogy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Excuse me. Okay, I think so. Who has got 10 words by now? Anyone who has got 10 words by now? 8, 7, 5. Oh, is it too difficult? Oh, 5. So Kanika has got 5 words. All right. 1 or 2. Everybody has got 1 at least. 1 word. Okay. All right. So I'll just give 1 minute more, maybe. Okay. So now we are going to use what we call Jamboard, Google Jamboard. We are sharing one link again in the same group. You just open it and see what happens. Then I'll guide you. No. Here you are. So do you see this Jamboard on your screen? Can you say yes or no?
Yes.
Professor Kanika? Yeah.
Yes, yes, we can.
So you can choose this 4th one, sticky notes. Just select that. Yes. And this is your color choice. You can choose any color you like. And then you write those words which you found from the crossword and save it. It will appear on the screen for everybody. So if you've got 1 word or 2 words or 3 words, doesn't matter. Just type it here on the sticky note and save it. Yeah. Has anyone able to do it? Yes, very nice. Congratulations. Who has done it? Could you please tell your name? Air.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, so now you can do this. Choose the sticky note, choose the color, type it and save it. Life. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, mitigation, life on land, sun, sad, tour, removal. Very nice. Oh, lovely. I'm so happy. Foodie. You meant foodie? Tipping point. Oh, lovely. Lovely. You can write all the words on one sticky note only. Carbon footprint. Lovely. Oh, that's wonderful. Great. So you all try, please. You will love it. Transit life. Fossil. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Fossil fuel. Good, good, good. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. About 15, 16 words have come. That's amazing. So that is almost one word per person. Mitigation, transition, CO. Yes, 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 yes. Bay. Removal. Yes. Tsunami. Oh, lovely. Carbon. How nice. Carbon footprint. Yes. 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 I agree. Good. Very nice. Anybody is trying still, or we can close it? Could not work in my phone, requires the app to be downloaded. Okay, don't worry. Just write in the chat box, please, if you have something. Adapt. Yes. No issues. Yeah, yeah. So, great. Congratulations. Great. Thank you very much. Lovely. So congratulations to everybody. Now, at least 16, 17 words will continue to echo in our minds as we go through. And now with this background, let me share my screen. Just a second. Okay. Can you see my screen? Kanika, can you say yes, no?
Yes, we can.
You can? Great. So now I'm going to show you some images and you can unmute yourself and answer it. Which animal is this? Anyone?
Tiger.
Tiger.
Bengal tiger.
Yes, 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 yes. Congratulations. Here you are. So something, do you know that these tiger strips are unique? You probably know that no two people have the same fingerprints, and the strips of a Bengal tiger work in the same manner. So that is something amazing piece of information. How about this one?
Langur.
Who is this? Anyone else? Please try. Please try.
Is it called macaque?
No.
Family or
Yeah.
the
Proboscis monkey. You know, ever tried for a dive and ended in a belly flop? If you tried diving, some of you might felt it. You would be in good company with this monkey. They often splash down while leaping from tree to tree, but they are great swimmers as well. How about this one? Who is this? Anyone? Any
Snail.
guesses?
Sea
Any
lion.
guess? Sorry?
Sea lion.
Lion.
Snail.
Otter.
Otter.
Sorry. Otter. Yeah.
Otter. Okay. And they are great friends of the fisher folk. You may have gone fishing before, but have you ever done it with an otter by your side? In some places, local fishermen have trained these cooperative animals to help them with their daily catch. Otter, the friend of fishermen. How about this one?
Barasinga. In Hindi, it is called Barasinga.
Yes.
really
yes.
the deer family, right?
Yeah.
Yes, very much.
Sambar.
Sambadia, right? And they are absolutely friendly, very genteel, absolutely love to see. But when they feel that they are in danger, they sound an alarm, and that is called pooking or belling. They are known for that when they are in a group. How about this one? You can't miss.
Hornbill. No. Kingfisher.
Hummingbird, right?
Yeah. Very close.
Kingfisher.
Yeah. Is it lovable or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks lovely.
Hummingbird.
Hummingbird.
Hummingbird,
Yes. Hummingbird. Don't blink. You know what they do? These are tiny, but do you see their beak? And they can suck nectar out of even the most difficult places, right? Their straw-like tongues can dip into their food source up to 13 times a second. They're so fast and swift. Okay. So do you remember them all? I'll just run through it. Hummingbird. Please name.
Sambar deer.
Sambar deer. This
Smooth
one.
coated
Otter.
This one.
This is the
Monkey.
Yeah.
proboscis
Proboscis
monkey.
And
this one,
Bengal tiger.
the most. Now, can anyone guess what is common in all these 5 animals?
Mangrove forests.
Yeah, they are all inhabitants of mangrove forest. All of them. Okay. That's wonderful. And therefore, let us talk something about mangrove forests. So this is a typical scene of a forest and surrounding areas. And here is the first piece of information. So do you all agree that the forest protects communities? Yes or no?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
They do?
Yeah.
They do? Very good. And how do they do it? I mean, 2 or 3 things which comes to your mind. How do they protect communities?
Oxygen, like they
Of
are the
course,
greatest source of
purification of oxygen, very nice. And they also save soil from erosion.
Solid preservation.
That is also. So that is what is one piece of information here. During the tropical storm, mangrove tangle root systems, and they keep the waves from destroying the houses. So they save those houses also. And they are the natural absorbers of carbon dioxide, and therefore they help us in purifying the air. Very nice. Okay. The second thing, that they help the community is, they harvest the forest produce, right from timber to honey, other medicinal things, whatever. I mean, there is no end to that, so that is another way how we can say that the communities depend on these forests. Okay. Next.
They also promote tourism. People like us
Yes,
go there.
absolutely, absolutely. Coming to that very soon. Yes. So fishing, could be one of them, and then giving them a sustainable livelihood. Okay. And of course, making the ecology, right? And how much exploitation you should do, how much you should not do, how much fishing you should do, which area where, you discover that that is the egg breeding area, you don't destroy that. I mean, people learn to live with the forest. So they are the friends, okay? And friends all time. So, and tourism, of course, the beaches, around that, excellent places to go and spend time with friends and family. And of course, the animals, some of them, I said that only 5, but there are thousands of species which were there. But of course, we know it. And this is a childhood story. We know that how these animals with each other, they balance the ecology, right? And how, the predating and getting prey to each other in some way or the other is not always a bad thing. It is the nature's way of balancing things out. So all those things happen in a forest, right? And of course, they are the breeding ground for aquatic life, the extraordinary aquatic life, and the nearby seagrass and algae, they provide feed for the fish, and the open waters, we can also use for swimming, bathing, and spending time, water therapy, or whatever you may like to call it. So these are some of the glimpses of how the close relationship between the community and the forest thrives. So has it given some sense to all of you? We knew it. There is nothing new about it. But we only have to identify 3 or 4 areas where the dependency of the human being on forests is to be magnified. We will identify it very soon. And therefore, I'm just running through it. The fish, the aquatic life we mentioned, and the ecological balance among the animals was another thing. And the fish and other produce, the timber, honey, whatever it is, living on the produce, the traditional medicines, etc., that we get. And of course, the helping stop the soil erosion and naturally purifying the air. So these are some of the things that we have discussed. So with this, now what we are going to do is that you are 13, 14 people, and we will send you in the breakout rooms with 3 or 4 people together. And let me give you this thing very clearly. If you have any doubt, you can always ask me. That what you're going to do is that quickly we will come out of the room and again we will go. This will keep happening. So first time when you are going, of course, make sure that all of you are there. Say hello, hi. And then each group will identify 2 or 3 areas, okay, of very pronounced dependency of human beings on the forests, as we have discussed. So we have discussed in general, you write one line that on the forest, people depend for their livelihood by extracting this. You can say that if you like it. Or you can say that, oh, we love going to the beaches in the forest, in the interior of the forest. And if someday forests are not there, then, oh my God, what will happen? Something like that. So a very a quick 5 to 10 minutes of discussion. And once you come back to the main room, one person from each group will just, share the points, very quick bullet points. We are not going to do a long discussion. Is it clear to everybody? Instruction is clear? Very good. So you will soon get an invitation to join a breakout room. Just join it, go there, and in less than 10 minutes, we will bring you back. Thank you. Shall I stop sharing the screen? Yeah, I think they are seeing the, you see the invitations, you see your name, and you just click join, and soon you will be gone to your rooms, respective rooms. Ashim, room number 1. Yeah. Nitya ji, what is Nitya's room? Room number 4, Nitya. Can you click room number 4? Do you get the invitation? Okay. Yeah.
This meeting is being
Welcome
recorded.
back. Welcome back. Yeah. So how was the breakout room discussion? How did you feel?
Great.
Great.
So, all right. I think everybody is here. No, 9 people. All right. So group number 1 is here. Group number 1? No. 2?
Yes.
Acha, 1 is here. 2?
Oh, I don't know which group number we are.
We are 4.
4.
Okay. Yeah, 4 is
1
here.
is here. 4 is here. So 2 and 3 are there. 4 rooms we've done. Okay. All right. So 3, 6. Good. Who is the leader of group number 1? Amanpreet? All right.
Yes.
Great. And group number 4? Group leader? Suresh?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I think one more group is just coming back. You send a notice, Monica. We are closing the rooms in 1 minute. Yeah. 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, I think people are back. Welcome back. So group number 1 is Amanpreet. Group number 2, who is the leader of group number 2? Just raise your hand, please.
I don't know which group are we in.
Yeah, Garima, that's you.
Okay.
Okay, Garima. Group number 3, group leader, Mahima and Suresh. All right. So just quickly tell Amanpreet, group number 1, what did you discuss, decide? 3 bullet points?
Okay, we have couple of bullet points, not just 3.
Okay.
So we decided, okay, so forest is full of life. It adds beauty. It's green. They're fascinating. They're important for our environment. They provide us with herbs and medicine to maintain the ecology and the ecological stability. and they're necessary for maintaining temperature, ecotourism. They reduces air pollution, noise pollution, and the soil erosion, conserves the energy, fights greenhouse effect,
Okay. Very nice.
and
I think your
balances biodiversity.
list is
And we
profound and comprehensive.
Alicia, I, Asham, and Aarti, we all decided to end it with the quote that into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul.
Oh,
So
wonderful. Great. Please clap for her and her group. Great. Yeah, Garima, group number 2.
Okay. Well, I think the bar is quite high. Thank you, Amanpreet. But what we have decided is that forests are essential because we cannot simply survive without forest. Of course, it provides tourism. It helps us to get livelihood by timber, by other traditional medicines, which we have already discussed. It cleans the air. It purifies the air. It helps us provide the seafood with the help of fishery. It also helps us in ecological balance by just ensuring the rain, by ensuring all the animals within the forest have an ecological balance, as we just discussed about the Bengal tiger.
Yeah.
And we were just wondering if, in case not very sure about this, but can it also be a source of renewable energy? So,
Of course. Thank you. Thank you, Mahima. Group number 3.
Yes. So apart from, well, we discussed quickly the basic necessities like food, wood, paper, air, medicines, etc. But apart from that, we actually discussed quite a bit on, the groundedness that we feel, the loving nature of nature.
Yes.
How protected and loved we feel when we are around waterfalls or water bodies or trees, and how forests or nature is such an unconditional source of love and gives us so much strength.
Very well put. Yeah.
We discussed sustainable fashion and utilities, and we actually were talking a lot about changing habits and how we can prefer these things.
We'll come to that later. Yeah.
So
group number 4, Suresh. Thank you, Mahima. Yeah.
I feel like, we are almost done. I mean, we have covered almost everything, but there are certain things. For example, ecological balance that we have already spoken about, maintain biodiversity, and teaches us to coexist in a natural ecosystem. That's an important thing that I thought we will mention.
Very nice.
Another thing, a source of natural resources, timber, vegetation, water, medicines, herbs, and whatnot.
Very nice.
Dependence on livelihood in several ways, bread and butter through travel and tourism. That was another aspect. And this is a natural barrier against tropical storms. And sacred aspect for the trivial community, religious, cultural, etc. And last but not the least, aesthetic quality of life, adds to human lives. And if, forest exists, we exist. If forest doesn't, we don't.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Excellent. Congratulations to all of you. Please clap for each other. Absolutely, from beauty and aesthetics to soul searching, to the very existence, to the material benefits and interdependence. I think you have covered them all. Very good. Excellent. So now something very interesting is coming. Now each group, and especially I will request Amanpreet, Garima, Mahima, and Suresh. Now you have to do a little bit of discipline in your groups. You chalked out 10, 12 areas, but now you have to identify only 2 or 3 areas. Okay. And now you have to flip the question. How you're going to flip it? That if forest is destroyed, then this aspect which you choose, 2 or 3 aspects, how much will be the monetary cost of replacing it? I will take an example to explain it to you. Okay. So say, for example, a particular area of forest is destroyed, then it will not be able to hold the ground soil, right? And therefore, to stop that, we will have to build a barrier, a man-made barrier. So how much that barrier will cost? Okay. Similarly, if the forest is destroyed, the natural absorption of carbon dioxide will not take place, and a lot of heat and all that. So to do that, what kind of machines you will have to bring in? Let us say to bring, a little bit of cool breeze, do we go and buy conditioners or something like that? So how much that will cost? So just to make it simple, don't go into big calculation, simple calculations. You have to identify 3 costs, 1, 2, 3. And this will cost this much, this will cost this much, and this will cost this much. And I'm giving you an idea. Now, you see your whole campus. What is the area in which the land is measured? What is the unit of area, land area? Anyone? Unit of land area. What is the land area of your campus?
Square
kilometers.
How much? Say again.
Square feet, something.
How much? Say, Amina, say again.
Square feet, square kilometers.
Yeah.
Square
Square
kilometers.
feet, square meter,
Around
square
60
kilometer.
acres.
Acre.
Yeah,
Let us say, for
acre.
example, around 60 acres.
Huh?
Around
60.
60 acres.
Yeah.
60 to
So
70.
60
No,
to
it's
70
100
acres.
acres actually.
Oh, 100 acres? Wow.
Yeah.
So 100 acres is the figure that you know. I found it is 80 acres somewhere. Written OP Jindal University is spread across 80 acres, right?
And now,
So anyway,
yeah.
the international unit of land area is hectare.
Yeah.
What is that? Hectare. And 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters. Okay, 10,000 square meters. Anyway, that is not important. Don't worry about that. Your campus is, by the figures that you have given, I'm taking out an average figure of 35 hectares. Your campus, how big is your campus? 35 hectares. All right. Now you take only a small portion of your campus. Just imagine, it will be very easy for you to visualize, right? So one area near your department or your living quarters or whatever it is. So take just one small piece of land, 1 hectare, and treat it as a mangrove forest. Okay. And then in your groups, you have to calculate if that 1 hectare of mangrove forest is destroyed, how much money we will require to replenish it. Is it clear? Is the problem clear?
Yeah.
You can ask this question again. So simple thing you have to do, 1 hectare of mangrove forest and 3 areas of losses. So in each area, how much money? And don't worry about it. You put 50,000 or 60,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, whatever comes to your mind, because that figure is not important. Only this calculation and bringing this cost into a consciousness, that is more important. Is it okay? Is it clear to everybody? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So group leaders, you have a great job at your hand, and you quickly have to decide that no, only these 2 things we will take for the sake of easy calculation. And when you come back to the room, you have to say 1 hectare of mangrove forest lost will cost this much. Is it okay? Great. So you are going back to your rooms again. Yeah. I think, Nitya, you have any difficulty? She might have joined with 2 devices, it appears. Yeah. Okay. Come back.
This meeting is being recorded.
I think all of you have spent a lot of money, it appears, in the rooms. Good, very nice. So All right. So let us, I think everybody is here. Welcome back. So this time we'll move in the reverse order. So group number 4 will take first. Suresh, how much money you require to replenish your 1 hectare of mangrove forests?
Okay. We will go by Prama, Finance Minister. Okay.
So we identified 3 problems. The first one being the restoration of livelihood if 1 hectare of forest land is destroyed. So we assumed that on 1 hectare of forest land, 1 tribal community would be dependent on it, which might be comprising of around 200 people. So going by the 100 days work scheme that India has.
Wonderful.
So the training, cost per capita for trained worker is 8,500 per month. If it is a 200 people community, it will be like 17 lakhs per month for trained individual. And for semi-trained individuals or non-trained individuals, it will be 16 lakh per month.
Okay.
And before that, we have to find those resources to restore those livelihood, which will be additional cost to it.
Yes, yes.
And other than that, we have the idea that if the tropical forests are being removed along the coastal areas of India, we have to have artificial dams or anything made across that line. And
Absolutely.
if we just go by the mere cost that the cyclone Ayla cost on Sundarban area in Bengal last year, it was like 1 billion. And just think about the artificial barrage,
dams and
we have
banks,
followed by the effect it will have on the mainland, the restoration of lives, along with the whole disaster effect that will have, and all the effects it will, like, it's a cumulative effect that will cost, like, it's way beyond 1 billion.
Very nice, very nice. So your total cost comes how much, roughly? Total,
it's like way beyond 2 billion.
2 billion.
Yeah.
And
Suresh had another point.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly to add to that, the third thing, and before that, but I would like to say, I mean, what was the whole idea for this whole group? Like, you know, if biodiversity is destroyed, I mean, it cannot be restored at all in its original shape. And I mean,
like, no amount of money can restore it.
Right.
Absolutely.
So on that note, like, you know, we were thinking about our campus, like, you know, if for 1 hectare, if we remove all the ACs, I mean, and we set up that natural air filter, I mean, tunnels plant. So, I mean, which brings the air from the hills, and, you know, underground tunnels will be there, and those tunnels will open in each and every room. So ACs will be removed, no carbon footprints, and instead of ACs, we have those natural air filters. So that costs, that costs around, I mean, that's a small effort though, but that costs around 20 to 25 lakhs for 1 building. So multiplied by, you know, the number of buildings that we have on campus. That was one more thing to add. I mean,
very nice, excellent, very good analysis. I really love the detailing of it, and I mean, that's fantastic. Okay, so quickly, the next group I think would be Mahima.
So before we move on, can I just add one more point that we discussed?
Yes,
it will also be like a perpetual loss of the knowledge production system that,
hidden
you know,
losses.
I mean, the traditions of, and the displacement of the people, which can never be replaced.
Yes, and the animal life which will be lost, how will you replace them? You know, I mean, so that is, of course. Yeah, thank you very much for bringing in that point. Mahima, quickly, please, your group.
So
1
yes,
minute.
all of us, we discussed about medicinal plants, and if they are destroyed, then what is going to happen? So we thought that a lot of, you know, we'll have to produce a lot of synthetic medicines, which are anyway being used now, but then we wouldn't really know but a lot of synthetic medicines as well have some natural elements to them. So we wouldn't really know what goes in the medicines now if everything is destroyed. So we'll have to find out what will be good. So a lot of research and development cost is going to be incurred there, and a lot of trials are going to happen that can be crores of rupees. Additionally, it would be there will be a lot of health consequences, because of course we are experimenting and health costs will rise. And the third issue that we discussed was solid waste management, the dumping of the waste. We'll need to figure out how to really process the waste that is generated out of these experiments and the medicines that we are trying to create. And so far, and Kanika, do you want to add in on that point on air purifying?
Yeah, so we're saying like in Delhi, there are no trees, so we have to install manual build system for air purification and soil preservation, which for a small area costs some lakhs rupees. So now we're talking 1 hectare, so we are building another crore to get the air purified in that area, because there are no 1 hectare of land has been lost. So in total, we thought anywhere between 6 to 10 crore is what we will be running. At least that's our budget.
At least,
because we're all bad with math, so we are just taking it as the at least
fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
On a fun note, if we lose cinnamon and turmeric, we wouldn't know how to cook food. So that's a great loss for us.
Oh yes. So those losses are irreparable. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, so that was the final point that we did want to say, that nothing can replace what we have from nature, and there's endless amount of money we can spend, but still will not get what we are getting for free. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you. Garima, I think it is Garima's turn now.
Yeah.
Group number 2. Yeah. Yes, please. Go ahead.
It's quite an illuminating activity, because we just, as everybody is saying, I also want to reiterate that, by doing this, we realize that what are we doing to our nature? Because nothing can replace it, no matter how much money we invest. So we discussed about wildlife conservation, and we basically realized that if in case there is a destruction to the mangrove forest, then we know that there is an aquatic life as well as land animals who are dependent, both of them. So we have to probably build a national sanctuary, wildlife sanctuary, in order to preserve them. And that will cost, I just wanted to change the figures after listening to everybody, because we kind of underestimated. I just realized that.
Okay.
So it might cost 100 CR just to build a proper wildlife sanctuary. And then obviously acquiring those animals and aquatic animals, I think that will take another 20 CR or so. And still we won't be able to
do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then we just thought we also discussed about air purifiers, but then we thought that just by destroying one mangrove will not probably lead to the depletion of the oxygen level, but we can definitely run a campaign in that particular community, and we can hire an NGO and we can collaborate with them, and we can build that kind of awareness that what are we doing to our nature. So that will probably cost 1 CR if in case and we also plant new trees in that particular area. And another thing that we discussed was about the barriers that Dr. Pandey, you already discussed before we left. So because we have to preserve the topsoil, and for that we realized that we were not able to come up with an estimate for that, because
okay, fine, that's fair enough. No problem. Thank you very much. Group number 1, Amanpreet, quickly just tell the figures now. I think the major
so we talked about air pollution and biodiversity. In air pollution, we had taken into account air purifiers, again the bigger ones which were installed recently also, then the electricity cost, the labor charges, and it was several crores. Then the second thing, biodiversity, all of us agreed. I think everybody has stated it again and again. You cannot replace life; it's irreplaceable. And even if you want to, let's say have a sanctuary built up or whatever, that would not be only creating a sanctuary. Then the labor cost would also be there. People will be employed there. The food and everything. That is a continued cost, and that will keep on increasing, even if it's several crores. So. We agreed that there's no price for life.
Oh, yes. So, just imagine it was 1 hectare calculation you did. you multiply it by 35, that will give you the cost of replacing the entire OP Jindal Global University equivalent of mangrove forests. And then you can imagine the total mangrove forest that this planet has today. And if that is wiped out, what would be the total cost? And then, as all of you very rightly said, that this is only our mathematical calculations, but something which is lost forever. And how we are going to, reinvent the entire evolution, that is not something possible. So I think this group is adequately sensitive to this whole thing. And therefore, just let me quickly run through some slides. You have done the major work, and therefore I can just, in the Zoom room, zoom past, because not much is to be done. So here I am quickly, and let me say, let us make some business of nature. You already have done a lot of calculation. Is it visible? The screen is visible? Okay. So here, the first one. So 3 things I'm taking here. 1 hectare, definition I gave you. 1 hectare, I said 10,000 square meter, which is roughly 2.5 standard football. So if you have a football ground on your campus, you just multiply it by 2.5, you will know what 1 hectare is. So here you are. If, to make the barriers to stop coastal erosion, 3 lakh rupees. This is one calculation, just to give you an idea. The second calculation is the tourism loss, let us say 1 lakh rupees, just to give you an idea. And then replacing to build air purification plants, let us say 4.5 lakh. And this total amount comes to 8.5 lakhs. And each hectare air, if you multiply it, it will be 10,000 billion of rupees. And multiply it by 35, and then you see, and this only 3 calculation. You add all your calculations into it, and then you see what this figure is. Mind-boggling. And that is the cost that we have to pay, we are paying, and that is what we have to make everybody very, very sensitive about. So that was the whole idea. And thank you for your contribution in it. And therefore, the last natural, logical thing is to think about for a minute or so, and just quickly you can answer by raise of hand, that what can we do? What are the best things that we can do to avoid this catastrophe? So what all steps do you suggest? Anyone? What do you suggest? One step. One person, one step. What do we do? If you are the policymaker or decision maker, what will you announce on All India Radio that, hey, 1.4 billion people of India do this? What would that be? Quick, please.
Stop using ACs.
Huh?
Stop using ACs.
Stop using ACs. Okay, next person. So 14 people in the room, 14 announcements.
Start planting at least 1 tree.
Plant trees, okay? Yes.
Don't cut trees. Even if you can't plant, at least don't cut trees.
At least don't cut. Yeah. Next announcement. All India Radio, Doordarshan.
Eco-friendly products, because then they will minimize the use of plastic and other things which is harmful for the environment.
Yes, Manjushri.
So
good.
Carry your own shopping bag.
Sorry?
Carry your own shopping bag.
Oh, carry your own shopping bag. Yes.
Wastewater.
Oh, yes, of course. Anything else? 3, 4 more announcements.
Sustainable life choices.
Sustainable choices. Yes.
Like in Singapore, that every citizen should plant a tree in a year.
Yes.
Singapore model.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Good.
I would say stop having more buildings and more houses for you. Have just what you need.
Okay. Yeah. So somebody was giving Singapore model, and there is one Israel model. I'll tell you, in Israel, the young girls, when they turn 10 or 12 years of age, they plant a tree, and when they grow up and they get married, the branches of the same tree are used in the mandap which is designed for them for their wedding, so that is one tradition in Israel. I thought that I'll just share it with you. Yeah, any other brilliant idea? Quick.
I can suggest one which an Indian couple had done, is that in their wedding celebration,
yes,
they had requested the guests to plant saplings instead of giving any gifts. So everybody planted trees.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. Yes, yes. So these are the small steps,
Wedding
tiny
season,
steps,
we are all then
remarkable changes. Yes, yes, absolutely. So anyway, I think your suggestions are absolutely fantastic. So my first, clue from you is buy better. Buying better and consuming better. Somebody has already mentioned it. Go green, you mentioned it. Everything will come in go green, you mentioned. And composting is another very good suggestion, which can be done with houses, small individual efforts. And of course, advocacy is very, very important. Raise your voice. So if we start practicing it and we start talking about it, I think we'll be able to influence people around us in our own surrounding. Get educated. So one exercise that we did something today, I think we have to understand what actually it is and what are the consequences of our own bad behavior, of our own, the reckless consumption and buying behavior and things like that. So getting educated about this thing is also very, very important. So with this, I come to the close, but I have got one more activity. But before that, let me thank all of you for your very, very brilliant, active, enthusiastic participation. And like all exercises, which end with a small quiz, I have a 3 to 4 minutes quiz for you, and that you have to do very quickly. Thank you very much. So here comes the quiz for you. Yeah, it is there already. Just see the quiz. Please fill it. Yeah, it's a Google form, simple Google form. Just click in the group, Alternate Pedagogy, and you have that. Very simple questions, recall from the discussions that we had. I just wanted to know. Three responses have already come. Please submit it once you have completed so that we know how much time it will require.
1.5.
Did you add Alicia? Was not in the group. She has mentioned. Okay. Alicia, are you in the group or not? You have written you are not in the group. Huh? Kanika,
I'm not in the, yeah, I'm not in the group, but I got the link of the form.
Okay, you got the link. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hmm? 6 responses we have received. Hmm. How many now? 8. Okay, we have received 8 responses. So 2 minutes more, please. Don't devote a lot of time. Give it a very light reading, please. I'm very happy. 11 responses have come. So 3 or 4 more. 1 minute. Come on. 13. Okay. Thank you very much. Here I come to an end. Over to you, Professor Derek and Professor Kanika. Thank you all very much for a great experience that I have had. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I think we can all agree it was a great experience for us. You know, you said at the outset that today would be fun, and I think you certainly followed through on that. It was a wonderful session, really great job. So please, everybody, join me with a round of applause for Dr. Pandey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. We greatly appreciate it. And so we do want to present you with a small gift, and based on your history with JGU, we hope you'll appreciate this. Suresh?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, lovely. Oh,
so we were able to get it monogrammed for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
And so we will get that to you in the very near future. But once again, thank you for taking the time to be with us. And Monica, the same goes.
Yes.
Really a wonderful, informative session. Kanika, Suresh, either of you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I will quickly make a note, then maybe Kanika can take over. So I just would like to say that it was a great session, which helped us understand how any topic can be taught effectively with the use of technology. Honestly, I was expecting some typical teaching strategy based workshop, but it was a fantabulous session, which without dragging participants into the complex technology based experiences, it taught us to engage learners from all backgrounds. It was really engaging. And on behalf of JSPC and all my colleagues, I extend my gracious and respectful thanks to you, sir, for making us learn. Thank you so much. And over to Kanika now.
Yeah. Thank you, Suresh. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you.
I think I can say, I think everyone has been saying that in a chat box. It was really fun session. It was really engaging session. It was great learning. I think I was like a typical student. I did not read about mangrove forest, but you did everything to make sure that I get engaged in those activities. So even I came with zero background, but I learned a lot. I engaged a lot, and I'm taking back a lot. So for me, that's golden standard of any workshop. At the end of the day, I feel more empowered to do things with the topic as well as apply in my real life. So thank you for making this such enriching and such creative learning. And I will surely take some of these techniques for my future workshops. So I'm just letting you know in advance. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And let me tell you, your breakout room activities were fantastic. And your engagement, your collaboration, and the ideas that you came out with, that is the essence of learning is co-learning. And there is no solo learning anymore in this world. And it is this co-learning and it is this co-construction of knowledge and understanding that is the future of learning, in my opinion. And that is what should happen. And that is why we all the time say that the teachers in a typical classroom should take a back seat and just be the facilitators and watchers and enjoyers and see how much energy, knowledge, and wisdom is emanating out of the classrooms. Whatever is the constitution of the classroom and anywhere in the world, I think the results will be same and they would be fantastic in my opinion. So that is what I have experienced today. And therefore, I'm going back with a lot of learning for myself. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and thank you very much for the very nice words that most of you have written. Thank you, Professor Derek, Professor Kanika, and Suresh. Thank you very much for connecting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And
Thanks
just a quick note before we finish up, everyone. So I know it's lunchtime. Please join back. We'll start at 1:40. Everyone should have that link. If not, drop an email.